Athanase means immortal, and I always liked the idea of doing a concept record based around that name. We get asked a lot what Athanase means, and it's my grandfather's name, it's my middle name, but it also means immortal in Greek. And I thought that was such a great launching off point. So Shoreline is really a song of defiance. The first line of the track, keep them coins, protect that soul, forgiveness ain't a boat we row. What that's saying is that here you are at this precipice of change where something's being thrusted upon you, and I'm telling you not to give the boatman your coins, to keep the coins, and we don't care about forgiveness. We're going to do what it is that we need to do. We're going to stand up to the power, we're going to fight the system, and we're not going to accept it. Sometimes just experimenting with different types of instruments and then different types of, toys and stuff or whatever, it just gives you a little bit of creativity, and something new can come out that maybe otherwise wouldn't have come out. That's what songwriting is about. It's about experimenting. It was just one cool thing with a harmonizer pedal and some oohs and ahs that I was making, and that turned into Shoreline. So this is just a harmonizer pedal. I bought the harmonizer pedal so that when we did acoustic gigs, we still had harmonies, because not everybody could always make it to the show. It has a really cool sound, and I thought this really reminds me of, say, Lord. I love Lord's music, and this was almost a way to add some of that to the folk music that we were doing. This is the first record where I actually started thinking about how I wanted my vocals to sound. I wanted to try to craft something that was a mix of inspiration from my favorite singers and then also uniquely me. When you hear these vocals, I wanted them to invoke a certain feeling. I wanted them to resonate with just this record, so that maybe any of the other tunes that we ever do again might not ever sound anything like this specific record, and that's okay. The guitar sounds on Shoreline are a little bit more rock than they've ever been on our previous stuff. They're a little darker, they've got a little more grit to them. And then I had to kind of craft this sound that I thought I had kind of went with immortal, but would also allow me to use the harmonizer pedal in kind of a modern way. If the songs were too traditional sounding, too traditional folk sounding, the harmonizer pedal would sound silly. It wouldn't work, it wasn't going to come together. Before we recorded this, I broke my finger. So you can see here it's all crooked and gross. And I kind of had to relearn how to play guitar. I used to rely a lot more on this finger. I would make chords like this, riffs, but I couldn't do that. The riff came from really trying not to use my index finger here. So the way I chord it when I was writing it was... My favorite line in the song is, they've got their gods and I've got mine, Mount Olympus, protect that fire. And I think that really encompasses everything that I was trying to get out, thematically wise, with this record. We're talking about mythology, we're talking about gods, we're talking about Mount Olympus. We've got a sort of a defiant theme running through this whole thing. They've got their gods and I've got mine, Mount Olympus, protect that fire. Shoreline is the first track off our upcoming EP called Immortal, and it's streaming now everywhere songs are streaming.